Hello, in this tutorial we're going to make a canopy roof structure, and it looks like this if we're having a peek at it in a facade view. And as you can see, it contains a bunch of different canopies, and if we have a look at it from the top view, we can actually see that altogether it contains 6 canopies that form the roof of 360 degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That also means that the individual roof segments individually are they're 60 degrees each. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create one of the segments, and then we're going to use that one to create the rest of the segments in this in the structure. So I'm going to place myself I'm in a conceptual mass, and I'm placing myself in the top view here, and plan view, and I activate the line command. I'm just going to drag that one out. So it's the line command, and I use the origin of the two reference planes. And I drag out and create 3 lines. The actual length of these lines doesn't really matter. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place myself in a plan view, and I'm going to associate points along the length of these reference lines that are created. So there they are, and I can just mark them as points. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a value to them, and the value I'm going to assign is, for example, 0.2. And that means that I place them at 20% of the length of this line. So this is 0% and this is 100%. And then I'm going to assign a parameter to it. I'm going to say that point of origin. It's going to be the name of them. I can leave that as a type parameter. It doesn't really matter. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to associate points, and I'm going to use these reference points that are hosted on the reference, or these points that are hosted on reference lines, as reference. So I activate the point command, and I set the work plane, and then I activate this local work plane of this point here. So I click there, place a point, and it gives me this warning that there's a point on top of a point, and that's fine. And then I use the return command to hover between the 2 last commands I used. So I go back into activate reference plane. I use the reference planes on this point, place a new point. I get the warning message again, and repeat that one with the last point. So what I have here is 3 different points. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a parameter to them. So I mark them all. Use the little gray box out here, add a parameter. I'm going to say first bottom offset, but I'm going to call it a BO just to make it a little bit quicker. So first bottom offset point. I'll set it again. And then I just continue on here along the path here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place 2 points on each line, and altogether it's going to be 7 of these points placed along this line. So I'm going to pause the video here, and we're going to continue in the next tutorial, and then when we've placed all the 7 points individually. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next